Danny, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Let's start with an overview. What does GreenBank do?
GreenBank is listed on the CSE, symbol GBC, and we're a merchant bank that focuses on small cap companies. We incubate and nurture private companies and take them public on the CSE. We're basically a private equity business which charges no fees to the investors and provides them with liquidity because they can trade our stock. And our focus on the small cap market is pretty unique. We don't think anybody's in this space of any consequence. And in fact, it's a neglected space, we think.
Being CSE focused.
CSE, but more importantly, they're private companies. Most of the Bay Street bankers focus on 100 million and up. We focus on 100 million and down.
Right.
And it's a space I think that certainly needs some assistance, and that's why we can provide some money, some management capability, and the public company experience to take these small companies public.
So the business model is you access capital markets, public equity, redeploy it into selected private juniors.
Correct.
Give the management nourishments access to a network, I'm assuming, and then take them public on the CSE when the time is right.
That's right. And we're focused, in the initial investment phase, we're focused on private companies, not public.
Right.
So the idea is we identify these small companies, and frankly, we've got more deals than we know what to do with currently.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you give me some examples of some of the current deals or the ones that have been most successful in the portfolio now?
Well, our model is to take minority positions in these small cap companies, nurture them, incubate them, and take them public. And usually it's between 6 and 24 months in terms of the incubation period. So we're focused on 2 listings next year. One is for one of our mining companies, and one is for a blockchain company that we have a piece of. The mining company is called Ubique. It's a zinc property in Newfoundland. They've just completed a drilling program, which was pretty impressive in my eyes. 17% zinc over 28 feet. That's pretty strong results.
That's very good, yeah.
And it's 10 kilometers from the former Daniels Harbor mine, which produced 7 million tons at an average of 8%. So we think that particular mining property is really quite exciting. Just finished a 43-101 and hope to take that public first half of next year.
Okay.
The other one is blockchain evolution, which is unique in the blockchain concept since it's based on identification. All other blockchains focus on anonymous users, perhaps not by design. In some cases it's because they don't have a choice, because it's extremely difficult to attach identification to a blockchain. But we've resolved that issue, or rather blockchain evolution has. And so we're focused currently on first proof of concept, which is a social security blockchain where we record all the social security records of a particular country. Say the UK, for example. The UK has 27 million social security recipients. Their problem is that they pay 1.5 billion a year to dead people. People die, but they don't tell the government, and the checks keep coming. Oh boy. So that kind of fraud is very significant for a government. Sure. And frankly, applicable in all jurisdictions, not just the UK. So, we would create a blockchain where all those Social Security recipient KYC information is recorded. KYC being know your client, the same concept as you would when you open a bank account. And then every 3 months, the Social Security recipient would either go online or go to his local Social Security office and prove they're still alive. Right. In the absence of proof of life, the checks stop. Saves the government a fortune, and obviously that's something we can run for the government on their behalf.
So the government doesn't do that kind of verification now, manually?
If it does, it doesn't work.
Oh, right.
I mean, they've admitted to me in the UK they're losing £1.5 billion a year.
And that's a significant number.
Very significant.
Okay, so then at this point, how much capital do you still have in the coffers, so to speak, to deploy, and what other sort of transactions are you looking at?
Well, in terms of capital, we've basically used the capital provided largely by the directors and their supporters. And now we're actually at the point of looking at raising some funding for GreenBank. Our market cap is around 40 million currently, and so we think that's a timely for us to bring in some additional funds so we can accelerate this process. We have a lot of deals that are offered to us. It's quite encouraging to have all these small caps realize that this is a place they can go to, and within a reasonable space of time, through our assistance and guidance, go public. Mm-hmm. So lots of deals to look at, and sure. We could do with some more capital to invest. From the GreenBank investor point of view, if they buy GreenBank stock, effectively they're getting a piece of a private equity portfolio. We have 9 companies currently in our portfolio. And at the same time, unlike other private equity funds, there's no fees to the investor, mm-hmm. and they have liquidity because they can trade the stock.
That sounds interesting. Are there any sectors that you won't go into?
We're pretty agnostic on sectors. It's a deal-driven scenario.
Sure. Anything that makes sense. Anything
that makes sense and has some upside potential. Obviously, we're constantly looking for unicorn-type transactions.
Right.
But, a good, solid business with significant upside, that's always of interest.
Sure. Okay, that's a great introduction. Let's leave it there for now, Daniel. We'll come back to you in quarter's time or so and see how you're progressing. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.